Well, good morning. This morning our scripture is found in Colossians chapter 1, verse 12, and it goes like this: Giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. Well, this morning I'd like to share a story with you. It's I believe to be a true story, and I'm going to be reading quite a bit. But a professor was vacationing with his wife in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. One morning they went to a little breakfast restaurant, and hoping to enjoy a quiet meal. While they was waiting for the food, they noticed a distinguished white-haired gentleman that was shuffling back and forth and visiting with all of the diners. And the professor leaned over to his wife and said, "Oh, I hope he didn't show up over here." Well, guess what? He did. He did. And first crack out of his mouth, he says, "Where are you from?" And the professor said, "I'm from Oklahoma." He said, what do you do for a living?" He said, "Well, I'm a professor at a seminary in Oklahoma." He said, That's great. That's great. So you teach at a seminary. Well, I've got a really good story for you. And he just pulled up a chair. And he began. He said there was a young man that he was born to a mother that was unwed. And in fact, he was born over there at that mountain, and he pointed at the mountain. He said, right there at the base of that mountain, this young boy was born to an unwed mother. And he said, this young boy was just terrorized by everyone, because they would say, "Well, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?" And he would just tremble, and he had no clue who his daddy was. So, just everywhere he went, to the grocery store, at school, at playground, he'd go hide someplace, because all the kids would torment him with, "Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?" He would go to church on Sunday mornings, but he'd always arrive late, because even the church people, "Well, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?" Well, it just so happens that a new pastor showed up. He didn't know anything about this little boy. And the little boy come in, and the pastor greeted him, shook his hand, said, "Who's your daddy?" And the little boy just wilted. And all of a sudden, the pastor, using the discerning of the Holy Spirit, said, "I think I know who your daddy is. Yeah, I can see a resemblance there. You're a child of God." Well, the little boy, he just brightened up. And so when someone would ask him after that, "Who's your daddy?" "I'm a child of God." The story goes on that as the seminary professor and his wife was getting to leave, they was paying their check, and they asked, who is that white-haired gentleman? Oh, you don't recognize him, do you? No. Who is he? They said, well, you see, that's Ben Hooper. And he's was the greatest governor of the state of Tennessee. You know, we need to all strut, be proud to be a child of God. Well, I certainly hope all you dads today has a wonderful, blessed Father's Day. May God richly bless you. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.